No abo pemu aha e Pent Radio 100.1 FM yo kumase asokwa Pentecost House enwumre no empemu kase na yatena se ede bro kase na ensem no dia edi emu akontini bi ene se Omampani John Dramani Mahama wapiemu ewa hafo mantem kukuom eho ena wakopao eye Feed Ghana Vegetable Development Project na eho entuma and the Feed Ghana project no wakopa ho entuma odi nsembi tudwa
Yadoba ko eye Ghana mra shebedwam na mra shebedwam chiamehene ene osiginaye nyina ene se eye owura fanyoma ke anano dom kase na fam wo mo satrete ne so bo ne ko abi se wato na mobia ensa fata watietia sebi mpradua sa Ghana amamra ne mra shebedwam animtia na speaker esi wuginaye yedimu kiremu eba
Speaker so ekire se kpandai emra shebedwa konwa na ene Tamale High Court ese papa no yensan koto ne mpasua no so aba no foforo no wase there be ontimi mpam ne sesia de ye ka se ye gina se akunwa na se pam na firi mra shebedwa yentam dodo etiamra
na sansuso ana bodramu ewo gini bisawa yaka kira wo se abatuguo akoso enamso ama atoye abibiman kabomko ECOWAS ene abibremu ankabom eko afani se AU wamodu amano atumu kiremu se ade akoso no enye nikasem
na ensem oyemu nso na Professor Kwesi Anin wono eye security expert watcher se ECOWAS ase de wose wo mo ye no wo ntimi nye nti wose Ghana mutimi esori gina mu na moye ewo ECOWAS edema moye wo eye abibremu atoye ha edema ECOWAS
na sansuso na fifiri mantamu suafo ene wo bontrene o kiremu se adwumayefo a won mo ewo awutu senya east nyamia ne mukroni akwadura di duo mu papa no ma hweye ye be dodo na adi
Arisha nsempi kama ya tena se na nwumre ede bro so nunum ene fa kase ena CPC nkoma ohine race spices ena afin so ohine no dairy pardon mark wonum adama ena wafa kase huka na nuanum benu a ye kenkan kase dia ma eyeme ohine ba nya akomene
adwempa ye ne Kofi Mensa adwene papa na papa endi wani mukan
ye da ne ye huti a wa ye de kase ne nchiremu ebeto awo so enche
Midofo a minni ho agro. Na say die waduane ne da no aye sronko.
Anno mura. Ohiri spices abefi. Aduane de aye sronko. Ohiri chicken seasoning. Se wo tutu, wo chi ana wo ye akokɔ nam ho bobia. Fakakra sum.
Froye no.
Ohiri stew seasoning be mama jeta.
Jollof no.
Ohiri jollof seasoning ma hwam ne odew.
Fried rice no kra die.
Ohiri fried rice seasoning emma me frega frede aponchin kakra no me do ohiri go seasoning na ye asam na me se nira ohiri seasoning powder ya woni beef shrimp noodles any de keke ka ho amunsu ye de aduane ne hwam na me de no ubedie dibium enti obapa ohiri spices abama ye aduane no aye de efise ni die ne nso aye de
ohiri spices daily
e wudwa hodromu etufon for 020-780-5398 and 0244-525908 FDA agi edwedien kratoi atum
Arisha makwa ba de bakase no so afei ye mowramu na ensem ne nchiremu yemfa entoa woso Omampani John Dramani Mahama akwakopiemu ewukukuomu a eno ewo ahafo mantemu Wakoya na nante semboko eye Feed Ghana program na ena wogusu a na weye okokoduru hono no na eye Vegetable Development Project ena okoko lanche ye ewo ehonomo na ne kasa yemu no wode atudwa na wo kire se anamoyi ena anamon bia ye tuo se de be ye de bebo ye nuane eho eban na ye de bekora enuane se de be ya dachi bia ne ye ho beto yanase ye ho enkyere ye ewo aduane afam kukuomu enene wade ye Feed Ghana program Vegetable Development Project no wade ekopie ye Omampani Mahama
Farmers involved have begun receiving substantial support in the form of improved seeds, organic fertilizer, agronomic training, and digital advisory services. A committed buyer, FarmMate, has been introduced to secure predictable markets for all the farmers' produce. Additionally, a modern pack house will be constructed to handle the grading, the sorting, packaging, and cold chain management of all the vegetables that are produced. The entire project has been carefully designed to be completed within 12 months. This vegetable vegetable development project will be replicated in many other parts of the country, especially in the north where water availability is a major challenge at many times of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, the vegetable development project is not a standalone intervention. It is integrated into our broader Feed Ghana 2025 to 2028 agricultural transformation agenda, which seeks to restore Ghana's food security and agro-industrial dynamism. Under this project, government is scaling up the production of strategic commodities such as rice, maize, soya bean, vegetables, cassava, poultry, and cashew.
Ane aya Omampani John Dramani Mahama ebro kopie mo ewa hafo mantem kukum eho ena wade nsami atudwa.
Yado ebobram ewo Ghana mrasha bedwamu wonkabupuni mantamu ene eniamrasha bedwafo no ekosi nkunya toato man no enkan kwa sedi o madwuma no ehye wo mo no na wo eyenkunyasie no emua no na mrasha bedwamu chiame hine right honorable Urban Kingsford Babin eche asama ana no dom kasia no anoba no dani opanyin no ede ebo dom kasia dom ketwa no so afama no ba no dani se na nsembo yesha ni se eja ECOWAS one parliament no omuduma die bi mu edie bia no enikwa so opanyini ode no ekowuram bie nanso so oya sobrachie a chese ono no ansema na sebedwam onom eka ye no wanfa sanhye no anya adwuma na ne sayo sunti no otwifa so ntina wakwa nya sem na sebedwam omo yesa na motuo no wotu ye ne kwa so ano no anasa nya ne kwa so ano no na owura mahama ayarega ane achese opija asem weto pono so ane bense na wotu no entamu ni eka kire speaker so hwe no onya hu bibi speaker shebo so obehwe no wasi wugina ye enne ane speaker ede wo eye aginasidia no eba no otem se onimonyafo Alexander Vanyoma ka otwa dam ketwa na no anamo otu ye no ane Ghana mamlome fe bisa contempt wo se adoa na wode no wanje ne serious ntino waka cha ne se eye privileges committee fo one mo hwe na opanyini omontene ntraso mo so do mu na yenhwe ekoye befa so a yebetini so no afa so na saso twebu ma ye de amana na wo kina biemu no se obi twa na mo bi na na se bedwam ye se wi na wan tu sa na mo na woni pakro age atomu atene wase na wakwa akotu am na agofo how ama.
Honorable members, having reviewed the complaint, the standing orders, and the governing principles, I am satisfied that the matter raised prima facie implicates the dignity and institutional integrity of this House. Pursuant to Order 34.1, I therefore refer the complaint lodged by the Honorable Member for Boko Central and a majority leader to the Committee on Privileges and Immunities for examination, inquiry, investigation, and report to the House. The committee is directed to 1. Ascertain the relevant facts giving rise to the complaint, including the actions taken by the House and by the Honorable Member concerned. 2. Review those actions taken within the framework of outstanding orders and the applicable protocols of the ECOWAS Parliament. 3. Determine whether the conduct, if established, constitutes contempt of Parliament or a breach of privilege under Orders 30 and 31A. And 4. Make appropriate recommendations to the House.
Amsafo enwachi mrasebegemu chiame hine right honorable Urban Kingsford Babin etre se eye ejatuku ane yede asemi eto wonum abamu ene privileges committee no omo yeso omudumadi omukwa akodie no obedi no fenchem ekwanso mamoma eye amanyoko nsem bia akofalifali musade beya ye simu giraye na asotwe bi ebobi nkase o ena ahwe kura na efa no omugina amanyoko ye tini ade ade ne nkofo awufo bi amento obesere se dwumadi ade aso omonsa no omo yese pepepe yo beya adwuma.
In conclusion, honorable members, whatever our political differences, the authority of Parliament rests on a shared commitment to respect its decisions and uphold the integrity of its processes. Allegations that a member has disregarded a decision of this House must therefore be examined with fairness, constitutional fidelity, and a clear regard for the institutional independence of Parliament. I urge the committee to discharge its mandate with diligence, impartiality, and decorum, ensuring that all parties are given a fair hearing. Until the committee completes its inquiry and reports to the House, I advise honorable members to refrain from public commentary on this matter in order to preserve the dignity and unity of this august House. I thank all of you for your attention and I pray that discipline will prevail in this matter.
Entino wase wasashe mrasebe gafoni se saa nsɛm wɔ no obi ani wo nkɔmmɔ kosi ebra ene committee no bedi wo enso an baba ye awie ye wo baabi asusu ade bɔde no ɛbɛfa ene a wuti ye yamra se badwa mu chia mahene Right Honorable Alban Kingsford Babin.
Say and speaker oba na oso atemu nti no oba ye say and atemu na say ye mienu na de toso mienu no nso na efa eye pandai enra ensamani ye kan enano adwada ebra Tamale High Court ede atemu ba ye sa ba ye to pandai ni nyina no wetwam yensa enkoto ni biem enafua aduasa entem no enra emra shebedwane di mama for no Southern ononyamfo Nelson Dafiamekpo ba emra shebedwane no say Mr. Speaker papa we friend no ononyamfo Matthew Pandan ba nyandam na konwa ne yaje enti pamono onse aha no biem enisa krotena ha no enti mo pamono na ene na speaker esan ede ono nso na temu ede ebaye ansa no mentie ewura Dafiamekpo ne nsema wode to dwa enra ewo emrahye fie ede fa eye pandai emrahye akonwa no ho.
The outcome of the 7th of December election 2024, which brought the Honorable Lindam to this house as the Honorable Member for Panda, was flawed, and therefore that election has been ordered to be rerun. Mr. Speaker, ipso facto, the Honorable Lindam is no longer a member of this house. So, by operation of law, is no longer a member of this house with a voice. That's number one. Number two, Mr. Speaker, we have received the court orders and received proof of service. The orders of the court has been duly served on Parliament. It was served yesterday. Speaker, I have a copy of the proof of service of the orders of the Tamale High Court dated yesterday to the Scott Solomon Osafu, bailiff of the High Court Accra. And I have the affidavit of service. So, Mr. Speaker, I will make all this available to the table office. Speaker, by operation of law, the Honorable Lindam can no longer participate in our proceedings. If he's minded to appeal the decision of the High Court, this is right, and he has done so. But it is tried that mere filing of an appeal does not operate as a stay of execution of the court orders.
Eno ayo no nyafo Dafiamekpo na eno no anene emrahye feature mehene Right Honorable Speaker Alban Babin ebaye en wo kire se emra no ema eye ononyafo Matthew nyindam ekwai ese enafua ensu entam no obeba emrahye fie na obegina ne manfo no anamu na enafua ensu ne entam no se osan dwane to court foforo na se osan etabiri asem de court foforo na se court na esosene High Court na se esosene court na odi na asem na se odi na temu ba ye na sa court no nso no wono nso na temu ono nso beba ewo enafua ensu ni mu no eno nso ebeye adwuma enti enafua ensu ye ne de ononyamfo Matthew nyindam yentimi mpamono yentimi kase onsefata ha enti oba mrahye bedwafie enra eba beye adwuma osefata ne kwan so a eno no mentimi empamono sisia.
In this instance, the ruling of the Tamale High Court was delivered on the 24th of November 2025. The statutory 7-day stay therefore remains in force until 1st December 2025. During this period, the High Court's ruling cannot form the basis for the Speaker to instruct the clerk to notify the Electoral Commission that the Pandai seat is vacant. In addition to the above, should Honorable Nyindam exercise his right of appeal, such as an application under Rule 271 of CI 19, it may impose a further suspension on the enforcement of the judgment until the application is determined by the appropriate court. This rule appears to prevent the subject matter of the appeal from being altered or prejudiced while the appeal processes are pending. Therefore, before the initial 7-day statutory stay, the filing of a stay application may yet introduce an additional layer that may prevent changes to the member status within the meaning of Article 97 and 99 of the Constitution. It's therefore too premature to say that the Honorable Martin Nyindam is disqualified from entering and participating in the proceedings of the House, whilst this period still falls within the 7 days mandatory stay of execution of the order. Honorable members, this is not a declaratory order, it is an executive order that was delivered by the High Court. And so the honorable member is right to have been in the House yesterday and to have participated in the proceedings.
Enti ononyamfo Matthew Nyindam Obamra Shebedwafia wanfom kwan ne kwan na eno no we Speaker of Parliament ononyamfo Aban Bagwen
Ghana adishimama kanese no zise onwunubre aka nkasebo ane egusu ade esum wono na sadie enu ada amanebo no ebeto montensu se ubodwam ewo abiman ba ko efre ne se Guinea Bissau ade se asrafo omo chemse sisi ade womo enso take over womo etu aban no etie kunya so no agu owura sisuso omatu na aban agu na omutu na aban agu ya na chese asra amamuo ena eba bekoso ni te otwemo na chese ku ena akoso no enam so ama Ghana de hye do na no echechromadwe enu akora maja wosoafo no ena hwa ma wofra so nsem ori okuje to abra kwakora so na no kwotu mu bi na nkrofo se wano paasam so de adufi asem na wo onwa na ene etie se nya Ghana kwa ne yesokra yesu ochemu se empanyifo wonim etua Africa Junior Elections Observation Mission anuo wamone afei ECOWAS Election Observation Mission and West Africa Elders Forum for one ma akomotam abom ede ensema do aba monteso mu kyerem se asrafo mo Guinea Bissau ade o maye no entwa ye kra ketekete mampore entwa ye ene sen yakwakoto aba ne ye wa atwaye mu ehwe anim se Electoral Commission hwa abato dwumade ntoto yaso no wode abato no hyehyɛ ba beto montere so ne nyina ye wode wadi nkunim na yenka bi enhyemu yento anka anko soro nso ne fam yeda sori ya yese ade ya asrafo ese yaje amamuo no aboso yenam so kra so afa mamponyini anumum almost sa na koso no enya de se etwa ye na nya asem de enso so wo mo de na komo odide mapa sanka oman no nyina betwen na Electoral Commission ko ba bekyere nipa wadi nkunim na ne ebi efi okokora na ne se eja asrafo wo bonu sra mo nsem bia mbeka na kama kan ye nyina ngba biaja ye nyina ebe siesi asem na masodwe enso ede aba na we anam so ama Africa Union ene ECOWAS ko no wo mo asresa asrafo no animanim ya brete womu wo mo enwe se wo mo sanso be makama minka bia mamuo aye adwuma e Guinea Bissau wono mo na de asomdwe enso ade abre oman no se nya sana se wo mo ko ni se ya na chese ade se be ha dwere pa ya mamra ene wono mo enso so etietia eso no etiabusuafo we atoye abibiman enkabomko ECOWAS ena afeso no abibiman nyina asomdwe enkabomko Africa Union fo ena wono so esre se asrafo no hwe na omosanso emma kamamika biamamuo enya adwuma ewo Guinea Bissau man no enso emu
Onza abana omoto no kwesi ada no ECOWAS the observers eko ho Africa Union the observers eko ho enti ekoyi pa chese omo observers ne baye no won ma no di sema wo de baye kire se aba no omoto wie na afami no nyina ye krado se babia ensunsun ade bode ho befa bi on beji atumde ne ensunsun so befa bia on beji atutu mu nim de enti a asrafo no ama sunsun so na ama ene ama meduru ne na o mankasa akwakohwima konwa no e dey free aban na nsem na eno na professor Kwesi Enin wono we security expert ye kan won ma enim bambon nsem a redare mu ye pa wakasa ede afadia ekoso anase de asi ewo Guinea Bissau no ehom en wo kire se asa abibrema to ye hanankasa no ku no ndo timi kura se enwie ensan se wono ba ku ye si ye adoka se ensan ewiesa ba na fia ba ko asan ababiem na wo kire se asa abibrema to ye ha no adwuma wo se ECOWAS etimi ye no ECOWAS wonye aso yi nani ahinta omanfo su ni wonom atete ni wonom fra wo frɛ se ye ho kire ye ye kamam ka emwaye ye mpanifo emfie asa ECOWAS emfie ntimi nya wo hwe o se wa hwe asa ECOWAS amani nyina kra no bebre na pinche ni si wo ho hwe na o se Nigeria krampo na eso wa bibremu anom no hwe se tutuafo etete wonom okọ Nigeria ku na agye okọ Malia yaje afiri ho okọ Nigeria eno so yaje Chad eno so yaje enti wo se Ghana na abibremu atoye man a ye kan ka mami ka bi pa ya jintini pa wo se nka bibremu ha nyina krampo no Ghana na ka mami ka bi atimi agina na ya jin hine enti wo se ye ne etimi eboa afoforo na aka no na ECOWAS de ye se ye de ne to ECOWAS so a wanha ye be de dokono kwa
the ECOWAS which made the early warning signal. And what is the role of the ECOWAS group right now? The soldiers and the because their remit was to protect democracy. And I mean, General Nkatana has made it clear that he doesn't intend to hand over power. So what can Ghana do? Well, probably the strongest democracy on the sub-region now, the most functional. I think we have the diplomats with extensive international experience in managing sensitive crises. We need, I don't know, I hope we have an emergency response plan that allows us to support countries that are in dire state, Guinea-Bissau, and as a friend of mine just wrote this morning, that we should demonstrate that knowledge, leadership, humility, but I'll argue an agile approach to an evolving crisis. I think ECOWAS as a lead institute for resolving the Guinea-Bissau crisis is a no-no because it has failed to achieve its primary aim.
Na Professor Eni ne etwa so kire se wo hwe abibremu an masaka maminka bia mamonomanfo ye hunu so mfaso ye mpanifo ne nya de omanfo ne pe na wonom eye enu nti na ye hu kuku ya wo se onokra de hu se ebi krampo de akire wei enye de twato.
So there's a bigger question about the usefulness and practicality of democracy, the nature of leadership, issues around corruption, livability, transparency, that we need as West Africans to start talking about. This is not going to end. This may not be the last winter. So if we take the ECOWAS project once more, and we take all the conventions, the protocols, and the values, the norms, and the objectives located in these protocols, once more we see a huge gap in which we only have a very platitudinal approach to them. We will say the things, we will march past and fly past, but we don't know what we say. The end result is that people don't trust their leaders, that things that citizens need are not what the political classes are delivering. So if we deliver a little hospital, a little school, 1 kilometer of road that will tear up when the rainy season comes, the fanfare around spending these developmental interventions probably costs as much as that developmental intervention itself. This is a country that is decaying from the middle and is waiting to implode.
Wasi wako hono mo beye se bosume beye nsia nwotwini na owo Guinea Bissau na hese oman na nkasa na o mo question mark pa e wo hono bi omanfo no won mo ehu ento won mo sa nya de won pe na won mo ehu we Professor Kwesi Eni
Abusuafo na ye bodwam ewo finfini mantamu na eye mensini ba ko di akotene ewo honom eye Wutu Senya East na oni oman yinkro ena ye kasoa no Vivri mantamusuafo eye onimanyamfo eduamwa ochire ekwa opanyini waba na yakwa akopiemu ewo mansini wa akwa akwese be mujumadi na omtotoye ekro ene okwa mbodwari kakra ana ne aduamayefo ni nyina abesi nkunya ene ohwe manimti na wawusuniti na wase na bayirede akra tunanim tuo ne wakasa wo kirem se aduamayefo wonum ewo Wutu Senya East wodmo nyamia ni mukroni aduma mo ye hodom na enso ni ka preba empose wase aduma fo amudo be se mako eye wo ha ene aduonum enan 154 nanso ko aduma wonum eye no enye nipa dodo no esu aduma eno no emode mo no wo fam tituru kra ne ba eto de giye mu a etiama akora ni abre papa wase ne sayo sunti no se wonum anhwe ya ene wa ye be ye aduma fo ni biadi ai wase na otumienu entem won be hwe asoye bia department bia modembo ewo mansini wonomo na wa modembo enhwe ni no ene obi na kuma ntwibosi akodu tribeji akyerema ene ye be hwe ne ayiwadi na de obesi anyasi esanse ye ntima o metra wonomo na aduma wo ye na so emma fa so mfa ma oman no na wo kyere bia be kasan ene mansini ka cho ba kra wo mo na wo modin na so na mo ye aduma ede boano no mo na mo mo emodin wase ade ba ko wo ni se yesi aduma fo ni boado ma osifia chema me damu abasisi ya woboa woko no ko twaduma hufo kra ade agidi sika de agudu botom enti wasiri nyina ye hawa e wodmo mbehye na omatu anamo.
The search strengths, I can see 154. Do you have that number in the Media Coordinating Council? I don't think so. And I think for your strength, many of you are not working. Because then you always have somebody in the office who will take care of your back when you are not there. We are also aware that some have virtually decided to run shifts. When government want to end the shift system at the schools, the assemblies are reintroducing them. And Kaswa is an exception. But we have the information that we want to get somebody so that we'll be able to handle that matter. You have to come to work. If you need or leave, come to work. Because it cannot be because of Kaswa reposting, whatever they call it, to places like this. Be careful. Let's first and foremost, and I believe that should be the procedure. Identify the strength of that department before you send in anybody. Don't just send people there to go and waste the spaces and waste state resources. There are places where your services are needed, and so it cannot be as usual that it is because that's what we do. For that reason, in the next 2 weeks, we are having a program that will track the activities of the various departments to ensure whether or not your numbers justify your output. When we find some are not needed, we have to ensure that straight away we take you to places where your services are needed. Because I compare notes with my colleagues, legal ministers, and many of them do not have your staff strength. They need you. And so very soon, some of you will have to go. In fact, by force. We are not going to negotiate with you. Because we cannot keep you here while other part of this nation is suffering. We cannot do that. No. And if you do not want to go, tell us why you should be here. And that will come out of your what? Your output.
Abusuafoɔ ɛne a wotie yei wɔno ɛna yɛ mfimfini mantamu soafoɔ onimonyamfoɔ aduamoa ɔkyere ɛkɔw panyini ɛna n'ani twa gu yei
Arisha yɛbrɛ na yɛbɛma yɛnkɔ wie kaseɛ no ɛwɔ amanane ɛnsɛm mu G20 ɛkɔ so ɛno ɛyɛ eku a wiase aman nyinaa no Chese amai akesie aduonu a wonum sikasem ewo soro na se konanim ene from G20 won me kono mini gina wonai so na South Africa enko ani abibire mu anomo omai baako a oka ho na afi G20 summit na ekoso ewo South Africa Jumadi na ebesha se no mampando na Trump chese South Africa nkasakra G20 won samfata wonyo omai wase yet ne ka hokra into ono sa G20 nyade obeko ebre konanim o ka se ene wonko na bedi akire nso nko won fa US and musini bia enko honmo na afi ebesimu no G20 summit na beko so ewo US abrochi memo ye Florida enti US oma nko summit fiti ahyase ebeduru awie ya ewo se South Africa edane ye afuna no ede ehye US ensase afi ebesimu na mo so ayen enti mo mra maji afuna che US se Womu emu South Africa cross enti womu afa pani bia anko na emum womu de na musini bi ena koy ena South Africa omam pani owura Cyril Ramaphosa chese se mu amfa ni de no obuo amfa ma yen na mu hu me se me so zantimo de sebe akola ne babetino ma me so me hand over enya de a sa hand over no me de be mamo kika kono me kan me se US wan hwa de odi ye Palestinian eye afi bra United Nations General Assembly ekoswa was one ma Palestine aban ana musifo omampani ni na be de akire obi ya visa e ma ne ma US no wa be South Africa fo bi we de wa ma afa no krampo anso ene we wie ye ya ene ode akoto Facebook ene o say South Africa ma hand over until next year Florida ena G20 summit na ebeba so obi en ho benya visa e de aba South Africa mamon so da ye kra so obi e ma na G20 summit no members no mu hia invitation summit no o kwa na o ye member wo hia invitation de wo hia no visa so mine na cost no be ma visa na de akọ enti US just wo hia invitation na makase me invite o enti se wo se fata so oba no visa na de beba visa no memma obi bia South Africa bo bia ni ho benya visa o de beba na owura Cyril Ramaphosa HSA we no kasem ha dwen de na so emfa ye ho ye behwe anim ni ahwede to aso after G20 2026 summit ebekọ so ewu US o ba ye ma fa ho adehye yerekase ni nyina ebesi ha
Abusuafo afa yɛhwɛ ensɛm awodo adi kasebo mu akotene na wo eyemrahye bedwamu ene yemrahye bedwamu chiamanyene kyerɛ mu sɛ owura Alexander Afenyomakin dom ketwa no ba no tani wonna kwa akoma privileges committee for sɛ womudo so ni mu anano na mobi otu ya enu ntom su sɛ ebu mrahye bedwamu animtia no omuntu wanamon
Omampani John Dramani Mahama enso apaw a vegetable development project ehuntuma ewukukuma eno ewa hafo region.
Na African Unions and Afe ECOWAS kuno chiremu se wo eye Guinea Bissau ade akoso eno eya bantugu no eyade se ensoni na emwa ema kamamika bi enimu
na no na Professor Kwesi eni na kire se ewo se abibremu atoye ha Ghana timi ema ne moso sanse kamamika bi de yen ena ye ne nana enti betimi abo afoforo aka ne mum enye ECOWAS
abusuafo nsam no ebi ka weni mu ena anuanu mienu esi nkonya yade ebesumo se onyunu bre akan kase bo
yade na CPS koma ohenere spices na fe so ohenere non dairy powder milk so one madama eno fa kase yi eho eka akenkafo na eyeme ohene banya komene
adwempa yene kofi mensa adwene papa na papa ndi wani mu kan
yade